11:03 on
with Nielsen and Hustler.
Sorry, I jumped the gun. All right, it's 11:03 on the Lock Shop. What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for being here. The Lock Shop is brought to you by our partners at Play Alberta. Why settle for less? You can have it all. Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery instants, and of course, sports betting all in one place. How about this? Deposit 20 with the promo code EST Casino. Get a $50 free bet. Deposit 20 with the code EST Sports and get a $50 free bet as well. Play smart, play local, and always use your game sense. Before we bring in Huss, let's take a look at what we threw up earlier today. We already have a couple of boosted early bird bets from the morning show today. Creed is in town tomorrow. And of course, in the history of Creed Tuesday, and it is happening on a Creed Tuesday, if the Marlins were to win on Monday nights, we would play Marlins Will Soar Tuesday mornings on the show. The Marlins play tonight. It's one of the most important games in Marlins franchise history to try to deliver a dub the night before Creed is actually here in Edmonton. We've moved the line from minus 147 to minus 123. And we're asking you all to, this is destiny tonight. The Marlins to win tonight is destiny. So we're going to be on that. And then we got on CFL early. Bombers and Elks, both on the money line, plus 186. That's the one thing we're going to get to. I laid out my kind of quarterback position preview on the Nielsen show this morning. We're going to revisit that here on the Lock Shop today. And we are going to recap the weekend in the Canadian Football League. We probably have to start with that damn Scottie Scheffler, though. Let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk today. His show, Winnipeg Sports Talk, about 55 minutes away over on the WST channel. Huss, what's up, my man? How you doing? Ooh, a little sip. Diet Pepsi awesome. On a Monday morning, Huss?
Just a little slig. Only my second of the day, Dusty. Are
you already on a second Diet Pepsi?
Yeah.
How many Diet Pepsi? So you're like coffee with Diet Pepsis, eh? Like that's what it sounded like when somebody's like, oh, only my second coffee of the day. That's what you just sounded like as Diet Pepsi guy.
100%. 100%.
What's the over-under here on Diet Pepsis per day?
Well, if I'm doing it by a can.
Yes. Okay, by can.
I think my preferred dispensary mode, I would go probably 5-6.
Wow, you love Diet Pepsi. I knew you were a Diet Pepsi guy. I didn't realize like you just keep crushing them all day.
Yeah, it's pretty much straight. I mean, there's a lot of days, like I'll try and mix in a water at some point, but many days, the only thing I'll drink, if there's no beers involved, is usually just a bunch of Diet Pepsis. I've been, it's been fueling this engine for a while. But yeah, no, weekend was awesome. I mean, started off with that Thursday game here in Winnipeg. And like those Thursday games, it always feels like it's Friday. And then you have the crushing reality. In fact, it was Thursday and got to get through the Friday after a big game. That was a fun one too, closer than it should have been, but definitely worthwhile. And then I enjoyed the rest of the games. I mean, the Elks prevented me from going 4-0, but good on them for getting that win.
Yeah.
And then I actually had a great day on Saturday. I just did a straight up 3-gamer. Jays to win, Riders and Lions to cover. That one came through. So overall, a pretty nice weekend. And then, yeah, I mean, Scottie Scheffler is inevitable.
Yes,
I mean, that is the word. But I tell you what, that chip that he made yesterday is as good of a golf shot as you will literally ever see.
Incredible shot.
It was absolute perfection. And, I know Bobby Mack was a little pissed that he gave a few back yesterday, but I'm sorry. When Scottie Scheffler's playing like that, nobody's beating him. I saw Keegan Bradley this morning on like the Today Show or whatever, one of those U.S. American network shows. They were in Times Square, and they were showing off their new fits, like what they're going to be wearing. Because today the first 6 players were announced for the Ryder Cup team, and to absolutely nobody's surprise, Scottie Scheffler's at the top of that list. But there are a couple of interesting automatic, like Bryson DeChambeau made the team just with playing in majors. So
just with playing in majors.
I mean, he was the 5th qualifier of the team.
He had a great year on the majors. Yeah,
he's on it. But JJ Spawn getting a spot. Russell Henley Harris English was the one that blew me away. I mean, I know we've talked about Harris and he's been in the mix, but
a little bit.
I didn't think that he was. I mean, think of all the guys that he finished ahead of in the U.S. Ryder Cup rankings to get one of the automatic spots. So Xander's there, Scottie, as we mentioned, JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Harris English. So they're going to be in. I mean, it's neat. And then obviously the Euros have their top 6, and we're going to get captain's picks next week, midweek after the Tour Championship. So it's already starting to feel the buzz growing for the Ryder Cup. But yeah, Scotty's the headliner in world golf. There was no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. I mean, that chip that he made, and the Bobby Mack that 4-putted from within 5 feet, is that like that was pain. That was
Ben Griffin.
Oh, Ben Griffin. Yeah, sorry, it was Ben Griffin because we were on Ben Griffin for a top 10. That sucked.
Did you hear what happened to him?
No.
Did you hear maybe the most bizarre post-round interview I've ever heard? So he goes out and he finished -1. He was 6 over for his first 3 or 4 holes. He 4-putted that one. So apparently he was on the first tee and he takes creatine in the morning.
Okay.
And so he was near the bottom of his bin or whatever. I'm not a creatine guy, so I'm not really too sure. But anyway, so he grabs a scoop and he said there was a bit of it was like a ball, a hardened ball, and it got in, and he ended up taking it down and didn't drink anything more. And I guess he says, this is going to sound crazy, but I basically overdosed on creatine. Like I was shaking. I couldn't do anything.
Come on.
He said he was just a mess for the first 3-4 holes. And the caddy's like, you got to drink more. You got to drink. So they finally got it back and he started feeling normal. And then he went, I think, 7 under for the rest of his round, 7 under on the last 15 holes. So anyways, very, very weird situation. But as I say, don't worry about it, Ben. I think he's got a very, very good chance of being a captain's pick. I think he really deserves it. The big question now is whether Keegan Bradley's going to select himself, because it really looked like he was basically a lock to play earlier this year. I think he finished 10th, if I'm not mistaken. So by merit, probably does deserve to be on it. But they haven't had a playing captain since Arnold Palmer, I believe, in the 60s.
It's been that long, hey? Wow.
I'm not sure Keegan actually does pick himself, to be honest. But he said he's not sure yet, and he'll let everybody know in 9 days when they announce the rest of the 9 teams.
This Scheffler run this year, though, man, is like, I mean, we're talking like all-time great season. I had a few different tweets that I saw last night. Let me just bring them up here. We can dive into them a little bit. Oh, by the way, Joe Flacco has been named Week 1 starter in Cleveland. That just came across. All right, this was from Justin Ray, who's always has a ton of great stats. Players with 12-plus PGA Tour wins, including 3 majors in a 2-season span in the modern era. Arnold Palmer did it twice. Jack Nicklaus did it twice. Tiger did it 4 times. And now Scottie has done it over the last 2 years. So he joins a list that includes Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods, which is just, I mean, how about this? How about this number with Scottie? In his last 33 starts, he's won 14. He's won 14 of his last 33 starts. 3 of them were majors, 6 signature events, 2 playoff events, a gold medal, and 2 regular events. Like it is, I mean, for the first time since Tiger, and I'm not putting him on Tiger's level, but for the first time since Tiger, it's become one man versus the field. Like that's just what it is now in golf with Scottie Scheffler.
Hey, listen, since like Tiger in 2000, like at the very height of his Tigerness, the next closest thing we've had in this sport is Scottie Scheffler, and it ain't close. It does remind me of the greatest, and like when Freezing Cold Takes does their best of 2025, this one I think might be number 1. And it comes from Phil Mickelson.
I saw somebody retweet this yesterday.
March 16th of 2025. Phil decided to pull up the old app and drop this.
March 16th of this year.
March 16th of this year. Phil Mickelson. Here's a hot take. Does Scottie win in 2025 before the Ryder Cup? I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. Where does that come from? Like why would he have been motivated to say that about Scheffler's game? Like what's going on there?
I have no idea. That was just his hot take. But the best part is I was just trying to find it. So I just put in Mickelson Scheffler. The first tweet that came up is a quote tweet of it and says, "This Mickelson take about Scheffler makes more sense when you factor in how bad of a gambler he is." So,
oh man,
anyways,
that's there's a chance it doesn't age well when you start it with, "This is a hot take." you're kind of really suing yourself there.
Scottie was on Pardon My Take.
Yeah.
And they asked him, they said, "Hey, did you see Phil's tweet?" He says, "Oh, I saw it. That was a great tweet." Tweet. And just smiling like a like a big cat. So yeah, that was a big L for Phil. He's taking a few. Speaking of which, Liv finished their season.
They did. I saw John Rahm a big payday.
No, yeah, without ever winning. It's such a joke. Yeah,
because it was a Neiman won like 5 times this year, right?
Yeah, I don't know how the hell John Rahm was the individual winner, but again, no one cares. I don't even know who the team champions were. What I was interested though in was this year, they said, "Oh, we're gonna have relegation," and then it's sort of been, "Oh, we have relegation, except we're bringing back the guys that were relegated." Well, not this year. And Ian Poulter birdied 4 of his last holes to get in above the 48 line, but he bounced his own teammate from the Majestics, Henrik Stenson.
Oh no. So Stenson's being relegated.
Stenson is out of Liv. And when you think about it,
you're just out? Like there's no that's it, you're done?
You're out.
Oh wow.
You're out. He's got to go, if he wants to try to get back on Liv, he's got to go to the Asian tour or something like that and play well enough. And then I guess there's some ability to be promoted. But I mean, listen, I hope the money was worth it for Henrik because he missed out being able to captain the Ryder Cup. He essentially, like so many of the guys, has seen his game go plummeting. And now he's not on the tour anymore. Now, I'm sure the second he signed his deal, he had generational wealth, so no one should be doing any bake sales for Henrik Stenson. But golf is a game where the ability to play in these big events and be a part of these teams is a huge, huge part of it. And for Henrik, unfortunately, it's not going to lead to a spot on the 2026 tour. Although, man, and I mean, I don't know, there's not really anything new to report on this. I mean, how long ago was the merger announced? 2 years?
Yeah, the merger announced. That is funny.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like anything's really they're making a lot of progress on that right now. So anyways, the Ryder Cup's going to be freaking amazing. Everyone can't wait for it. And Bethpage will be rocking. I should look. Do you have a number on that right now? Ryder Cup.
Let me take a peek here. I got new CFL lines. Hopefully you haven't seen those. We'll guess them.
No.
I got USA minus 139, Europe plus 130.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the States is going to have the home cooking and they're going to be able to set it up the way that, they want to do it and all that. But man, the Euros just rise to the occasion. And it's been a bit since we've had the road team win. I'm quite interested. I think there is some value on the Europe team, to be honest, as a big plus favorite. There's so much pressure on the USA going into this one at Bethpage.
All right, it is Nielsen and Huss. Before we look at this week's lines in the CFL, Huss, let's dive into the week that was. Let's start and work our way backwards because I mean on Friday you guys would have hit on the Bombers' big win. So yeah, let's start with that BC Montreal game, the second half of a doubleheader. On Saturday, BC, dominant fashion. And we said on the broadcast, I mean, no Davis Alexander, no MBT. Caleb Evans starts. He gets hurt. And then they have to go to Morgan to come in. And I thought he had pretty good arm, but he'd never taken live reps in a regular season game before. I mean, that's tough to do. So I was not surprised to see, like, BC hung 36 on Montreal, and Montreal had 2 takeaways. Like, this could have been a 40-plus game for Rourke, or a 500 or a 400-yard what do you make of BC? The Bombers are battling with BC. If Calgary doesn't beat the Riders this week, I mean, all 3 of them could sort of be battling. What do you make of the BC Lions?
From a Bomber perspective, I'm glad they're finished playing them for the regular season.
Yeah.
Like, I think BC, I'm buying BC in the second half of the season, put it that way. And I really do think that, Winnipeg is going to need to play at a high level to be in the playoffs. I mean, I think there's going to be a crossover this year. I think based on the records right now, it is most likely one of Winnipeg or BC. And I guess if the teams are tied at the end of the year, that crossover would go to BC because the Bombers have the season series on account of their 2 head-to-head wins. But I've been thinking that Nathan Rourke is only going to get better throughout this year. And I think based on his last couple of games, we're seeing that. I mean, I think he's got back-to-back 400-yard games right now. Be interesting. Who's I talking about with it last week? I think it was you when you were away. But we were looking at some of the MOP odds. And, the odds, it was Bo was the shortest number. It was VA, and it was Trevor Harris.
Yep.
All under 4-1. And then Nathan Rourke was 11-1. I said, I mean, if you want a value play right now, Rourke at 11-1 is absolutely it. Like, I mean, if he tears it up in the second half.
Yeah, I still don't hate the Rourke play. I said the same thing this morning, buddy.
Yeah, well, I put a nice chunk on that last week. So, I mean, as I say, I think he's going to continue to be very, very good. I think he's going to put up big numbers. And, if BC all of a sudden gets right back in it and pushes closer to the top, and Rourke has the numbers that he's putting up on a consistent basis, it ain't going to hurt that he's Canadian as well when the journalists vote on the awards. So I'm very much here for the Nathan Rourke. The Nathan Rourke number. I'm not seeing any numbers.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them up right now. Probably a couple day or two. Okay, what about the Riders dominating the Ticats by 29-20? Pretty impressive win. They've actually done very well against Bo Levi a couple of times. I mean, if there was any doubt by anyone that the Riders are the best team in the league, that's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah. And listen, I mean, I was on Sask all week. I thought that they would make a pretty big statement in this game with the opportunity of coming off the bye to play a Hamilton team that they'd already had their way with. And I mean, they did. Their defense is really, really good. And we've talked about a few defenses this year that has sort of established themselves. Calgary's defense, Montreal's defense when healthy. But the Saskatchewan defense, especially playing at home, seems to be operating at a whole nother level right now. And then you include an offense that I think is pretty deep. I mean, their line's playing well. Trevor Harris, he gets the ball out so quickly. It takes a lot of the pressure off the offensive line. They've got a great receiving group. They can run the football. Listen, halfway through the season at the midway point, they're absolutely the team to beat. I will remind people that things often do change significantly in the second half of the year, but no one's taken those 8 wins away from them. So, listen, if anybody wants to make a point of trying to prevent that West final being in Regina for a trip to Winnipeg for the Grey Cup, they're going to need to get on it right now. And I guess the Bombers have that opportunity to do that. I mean, they're 3 back of Saskatchewan, and they actually have 3 head-to-head games against them. I mean, almost impossible to imagine that one team would win all 3 games in this, never mind a sweep of the Banjo Bowl and the Labor Day Classic. You can often kind of throw the records out at that time. But yeah, and I'm seeing Sask is already down to, I mean, they're the favorite with 225 to win the Grey Cup or in there about. And then you got Hamilton and Calgary. Montreal is at 5, and Montreal is going to stay there until, I mean, the belief is that Davis Alexander makes them a very, very different team.
He does. But then, I mean, they've also had no Austin Mack. They had no Philpott. Like, they're pretty banged. No Duquois. They were missing some bodies for sure.
funny thing is, I'm just looking at the Bombers number. The Bombers went from like 9 or 9.5 to like plus 12 to 12.5 while winning a game. So it'll be interesting. A bit of Bomber news today, though. I'm not sure if you heard.
I saw Schoen was back at practice.
Dalton Schoen back at practice, which is very, very nice. And then they signed Demario Houston as well. And I'm not sure. Do you know about this? Like, I mean, is he just able to play right away, or is the league have to?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to be interested to see. I don't know. But the charges against him were dropped, right? Like just outright dropped.
I mean,
so I don't know.
Like, I haven't heard anything that's still looming around him. And I mean, listen, I know these are serious allegations, but when they're allegations and they're investigated and then nothing happens, I'm not sure that. I mean, in some cases, if they think that there's been some conduct that deserves further action, they'll do that. They have done that before. I mean, Chad Kelly was a good example of that. But we're waiting to find out a little bit more on that situation. But just from a football perspective, listen, if he can join the roster, that will be a help for a Bomber team that right now is just struggling to find live bodies in the secondary. But hey, they found a way to do it on Thursday night, and that was a very, very big win. And of course, they've got Montreal. What are you hearing about Alexander's potential return? Is that sort of a Labor Day thing?
I haven't heard anything recently. I know when they put him on the 6 game, Moss was basically saying, you know, they could definitely take him off, but they also and it might be different now because they're a 500 team, but Moss seemed very content at the time, at least, with making sure he was good to go when he returned, right? They kind of rushed him back already once this year, backfired on them. I don't think there's going to be a situation where they push him. And what's Montreal got? They got Winnipeg this week. Then they got the bye because of Labor Day. Then they're home against Hamilton. Then they're on the road against Sask. So I think, you know what? Maybe September 6th, but I think the target date could possibly be the 13th against the Riders. But we'll see what happens. They did sign Cam Dukes, and Dukes has CFL starting experience. So I wonder if they go to Dukes ahead of Morgan, who didn't do bad, but didn't look great either. So we'll see. I like the fire in his belly. How about Edmonton, man? 2 in a row. First time under Mark Killam. The disrespect is real. They're still 60-1 to win it all at Play Alberta, but they've won 2 in a row, and they get Ottawa this week. And even before the 2 they lost before these 2, Hamilton, which they should have won on a clear drop in the end zone, and then they gave the Riders a pretty good run right before that. So I don't know. You said it. There's a lot of football left. Things can change. I don't hate their chances against Ottawa. We'll get to the odds here in just a second, but since Cody Fajardo took over, Huss, we talked about this morning. Like before he took over, they were allowing 33, 34 points a game. Since then, it's been like 28, 24, 22, 20. And it's because Fajardo is able to put drives together and keep the offense on the field and give their defense some time to rest. So I don't know where it goes from here. Ottawa is an extremely winnable game right now, especially if Drew Brown did not take first team reps today. It was Dustin Crum at Red Blacks practice. But pretty good win against an Argos team that refuses to run the football. Like they just don't run it. They had 5 carries by their running backs, 4 from Mac Mahan, 1 for Spencer Brown, and then Arbuckle ended up having to run it 7 times when he was under pressure. I don't know, man. I think the Argos, at least for this season, passed their best before date. Like I don't know if there's a turnaround coming here, even though Arbuckle's having a decent year.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, change the quarterback, bring in Chad Kelly. I mean, it's not the offense that's the issue. It's everything else.
Well, I would say they should run the ball though. Like Nick Arbuckle leads the team in rushing yards with like 130. So his numbers are big because they have to throw it all the time because they don't want to or they refuse to run it. I understand CFL can be a heavy passing league, but look at the best teams in the league. I mean, Toronto, when they were winning Grey Cups, Kadeem Carey, Brady Oliveira, AJ Ouellette this year. Hell, the Edmonton Elks, when they're winning, what's happening? Justin Rankin is involved in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Toronto just doesn't. They don't even get McMahon involved in the passing game. It's just it's bizarre to me.
No, they're straight up air game. But hey, nice win for the Elks. I see Duck Dad with a scud for me. Us with more Elks disrespect. Listen, I'm not sure we should start planning any parades now that they were able to beat Toronto at home. But you make great points about having Cody Fajardo as the starting quarterback changes everything for that team. I think he gives that team the confidence that he's going to find a way to keep them in football games and give them a chance to win that maybe they didn't have it before. And you do wonder what that means for Ford moving forward and, what the team does, at the end of this season. But for right now, the goal had to be, let's get some wins and let's play some meaningful football in the second half of the season. Even if they don't make the playoffs, this first season under Mark Killam, I believe, can be a success if they show clear improvement, identify some players that can be key cogs in the future, and most importantly, find a quarterback that can give you a chance to win. And listen, I know there's a lot of big fans of Trey Ford, but it's simply impossible to deny the effect that Fajardo has had on Edmonton's attack. And you laid it out. It's one thing on the offense. The other thing is what it is doing for the defense. I mean, not getting killed in time of possession, giving those guys a little bit of time to rest is bearing fruit on the other side of the football. And it all comes in together in a 60-minute game to give you a chance to have more points than the other team. And they were able to do that. And I'll give the defense credit. I mean, it wasn't like Toronto didn't have some opportunities in the last 5 minutes of that game. And the D stepped up when they needed to, even after the kicking game kept Toronto in.
Yeah. Blanchard's is interesting. And they were missing Cody Grace, who's a great punter. So Blanchard had to do that as well. Wasn't specifically good at it. We asked this morning on our show, and I don't think 500 is reasonable, but somebody said, if the Elks had started Cody Fajardo at the beginning of the season, where would they be right now? And I don't think it's crazy to say that, they would be 4-5, 5-4, and kind of battling with the BCs and the Winnipegs to make things kind of interesting. That's just 2 more wins than they have, 1 or 2 more wins than they have right now. I think that's completely reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could probably look at, at a game or two. Well, I mean, especially, the thing is, which are the games? Because they were getting kind of really smoked early on. I mean, the defense was a disaster. I'm not sure whether they win those games.
But it was 2 and out after 2 and out after 2 and out offensively, right? Yeah, if you have a quarterback, I was told last week that the Elks offense is operated like it's supposed to be operated with Cody Fajardo. Now, that person at the time wasn't talking about Trey Ford at all. It was just saying this offense runs like it's designed when Cody Fajardo is under center, right? To me, that was a pretty telling statement. So I think it could have been different right at the beginning, right? I think there could have been a game or two. What's that?
What do you think happens with Trey Ford beyond this season?
I don't know, man. We said, if Cody keeps finding ways to keep things extremely competitive for the rest of the year, then you might not see Trey again. If the Elks fall off a couple of games here, maybe they do sort of ride it out. Is he just Cody Fajardo's backup next season? Is that what else happens? I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Well, isn't he making close to starter money?
He's making low end starter money. Which
is still a hell of a lot for a backup.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. What else happens with him? Nobody else is going to say, "Hey, we'll give Trey Ford a chance to start." So
no, but I do wonder whether they renegotiate his deal.
That's what I would suggest. Probably
likes being in Toronto. His brother's there, and sort of reads the tea leaves and says, "Oh, well, this is still a good chance for me, and I'm always one step away from playing." Or do they go the other way and say, "Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to release you," and then he looks around the league at a spot that gives him the best opportunity to potentially get back to being QB1. I think he needs to get better and be more reliable if he wants to do that right now. But that will be because listen, you guys have had this conversation in Edmonton about Ford for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And this was going to be the year with the new coaching staff. Okay, he's QB1.
The fan base wanted to see Trey. right? Like we're calling for it all season, all off season, and most of last year. And he's had a decent chance. I don't know. Well, it's a curious one. I think Fajardo's got enough gas left in him to be the starting quarterback next year.
How old is he?
Cody Fajardo? I mean, I'm going to guess Cody's like 33-ish. I might be, 33. There you go. He turned 33 in March. So
33?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could probably play another three. I mean, listen, if he's playing like this.
Yeah, he could play another 3-4 years, like if that's the case.
Like, well, look at Trevor Harris, look at Zach Caleros, look at Bo Levi Mitchell. I mean, if there's one thing we've seen, that is the position where if you've still got it and your arm still has the pop in it, you can continue to play. I would argue that some quarterbacks actually get better as they get older because of the way they see the football, the way they process the game. They've got that much more experience, something that Trey, unfortunately, doesn't have the opportunity.
I think you make an interesting point on Cody Fajardo. I was chatting with Cody last week, and he goes, I'm not a guy with the most powerful arm. So it's not like his arm strength can really, like, it's not like he's got one of the top 5 arms in the league, right? He gets it all done with smarts, timing, ability to run the ball a little bit. So I guess what I'm saying is I think he might be able to sustain his play a little bit more just because the arm won't drop off that much because he's not a guy who's out there absolutely, throwing darts all the time. So, yeah. All right, let's get to this week, Huss. Have you seen the lines? Did you look at the lines?
I have not seen the lines.
Perfect.
I have not seen the lines.
I played this game with Eric this morning, and he got close on a couple. Since this morning, we have seen one game flip by a little bit. But anyway, let's go. Bombers, Alouettes. What are you
thinking? Well, we assume that Montreal is going to be with
this would be a fourth string line, I think. Yeah.
Quarterback. The Bombers will be favored on the road in this game. I will say 4.5.
5.5. I thought you were going to say 5. I thought you were leaning towards 5. And then you, 5.5. It was 6 this morning. Now it's in at 5.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it moved a little bit this morning. All right. The Elks and the Red Blacks in Ottawa.
Ooh, this is so the 3-6 Elks versus the 3-7 Red Blacks.
Yes, you're right. Ottawa. It is an important football game.
Ottawa. This is a huge game. Like Ottawa, despite losing last week, had to be pumped. I mean, everybody else lost.
Yeah.
In the East. I guess Ottawa's at home.
They're at home.
Go Ottawa -1.5.
Boom. Nailed it. Got it. Check it off. Ottawa -1.5 at home. BC Lions going on the road against Nick Arbuckle and a bunch of receivers and no running backs. What do you think there?
BC -4.
4.5. I'll give you that one. Right. That was close. And then the Riders and the Stampeders. Ooh. We talked about this one earlier this morning. I will tell you right now, it is flipped by 2 points since we were talking about it this morning.
Where is it?
It's in Calgary.
Oh, okay. Well, then that tells me that, like, I don't think it's going to Cal. I'll say Sask -1.
Yes. Yeah. Because this morning it was Calgary -1. And now it's flipped to Sask -1. So good job. You missed out on a half point there and then 1 point there. So 4 games, you missed by 1.5 total points, Us. That's a pretty good week.
I've got my my future as a bookmaker if this all blows up.
You know what? It's just a matter of time, right? I totally see it 20 years from now. One of us going to the other guy being like, all right, let's bring on so-and-so from here. You're helping set the CFL lines now. Eh? Like,
here we go. We got this.
I can see that. Hey, of those lines, Huss, Bombers 5.5, Red Blacks 1.5, Lions 4.5, Riders -1. Is there an early get on early play this week that you think we're going to see some movement?
Well, funny, we already saw that with Saskatchewan.
Yeah, right? Already the 2 there.
I feel like Sask, especially considering the way they got dummied by Calgary at home earlier this year and their only loss.
Yeah.
Although maybe we're sleeping, like maybe we should remember what Calgary did to them and the fact that they're getting a little bit more healthy and BA is going to be there. And but right off the bat, probably BC. Like I think that 9.
Well, Calgary's coming off a bye too, right?
Ooh, Calgary is coming.
They had the bye this week.
So they'll have the benefit, the one that Saskatchewan had last week. So that'll be funny. Well, actually, I think it might be Edmonton.
Yeah.
Funny, as much as I'm taking the Heat.
Do you think they're a favorite before this game?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like I think, like just the fact that it's Dustin Crum and it's not going to be Drew Brown. Once you kind of knock them down to playing with a backup, and listen, Crum against anyone, not the Bombers, when he's down 20, looks pretty normal.
There was a little bit of Crumback vibes there, wasn't there, last game?
Dude, there was Crumback vibes the second he came into the game. I'm like literally said, oh God, not this guy. If any backup quarterback could be coming in against any other team, I'd be fine. But let's just get to the end zone. Let's get to the finish line. And of course, we all know what happened. But with Edmonton being a slight favorite, I think this probably gets to a pick 'em. Knowing like once it's confirmed that, Drew Brown's not going to be out. Have they said I know Crum was taking the first team reps, but are they worried that he might be out for a little bit of time?
I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to talk to AJ Jakubic tomorrow. I'll have him on the show. Kind of get to the bottom of that. But
what are you doing this week?
I'm off this week. I have Saturday is my Juan Rincon fantasy football, golf, hockey draft, football draft day. Amazing. So it's the one weekend of the year that I request off. Although I'm thinking maybe, like I've done a few years now, I'm thinking maybe next year I might try to get like a couple weekends off just to kind of get away from him a bit. Like working every weekend for like 24 weekends.
You can bang off the Thursday game and then.
Yeah, I had one of those. That was, remember I went camping this week. I had that one Thursday and then I went camping. That was not by request, but as soon as I saw I had that, I did decide to take advantage of it. So, no games for me this week. Although, I am a little bit pissed because I definitely would have been on that Calgary Riders game. The only game in the West this week, I probably would have just been me. So that one kind of sucks. I'd like to call that. But it'll be nice to get away, unwind a little bit, see some buddies.
Are you doing Banjo Bowl or the Labor Day game?
No, I'm just on Calgary, Edmonton, Labor Day rematch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. That's a picture on the Canadian Football League. I got my quarterback rankings that we can get to as well. But before we do that, let's just hit on the Jays quickly, Huss, and then we'll go to some NFL fantasy talk. Pretty interesting weekend. I was calling that Elks game Friday night. I go on Twitter after and I see Alejandro Kirk had stolen a base. And it's just like of course they're going to win the World Series this year. Alejandro Kirk just stole a base. So yeah, that was, it was pretty fun weekend. Now, tonight it's Skeens, right? They go up against Skeens. And right now what I'm looking at is straight up pick 'em. Minus 111 on both sides. I know if you've been riding on Jays, you've been doing very well this year, but can the Jays find a way to get by Skeens? That's a tough call.
Well, it is, but here's the thing. As great as Skeens is, he's got a 2.13 ERA, and that went up from 1.98 going into his last start. He's 7-9.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the games that he didn't get decisions for, I can tell you they weren't winning. Like the only way he the Pirates win is if he goes crazy, has a bunch of short at bats, they give him into the 6th or 7th inning, and they spot him some runs.
It's like all-time bad run support for this guy.
I listen, I think I'm just gonna keep rolling with the Blue Jays. Let's be thankful the fact that we're getting a much better number than we would at any other time with the Jays playing against the Pirates.
Yeah.
And you just hope that you can get through, keep it at least even through the first 5 or 6, and then make it a bullpen game. Jays bullpen's been beefed up. Pirates, a disaster. And when it comes to the hitters and the bats, it's not even close. They got O'Neal Cruz, and that's about it in Pittsburgh. And the Blue Jays right now, despite losing the finale of that series yesterday against the Rangers are still playing a real good brand of baseball. 2 great wins over Texas on the weekend. And I guess they did lose yesterday and the Yankees won. So what? They're 5 up on Boston, 5.5 up on New York. So this is a series. I mean, listen, you should absolutely win this series against Pittsburgh. They basically have the opposite record of the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
73-53 versus, or 73-52. And the Pirates are 52-73. If you can get this one, you probably got a pretty good chance of running the table. So to me, this is the matchup. And obviously it's a treat to be able to watch Paul Skeens. He's so good. Been following Livy on Instagram. She's been having a lot of fun at the lake lately. So I'm not sure whether she'll be in attendance for the game tonight in Pittsburgh, but the Blue Jays certainly will be. And I believe it's Gausman. Yeah, Kevin
it's Gausman. Yeah. They've actually moved the line. It's minus 108 now. So Jays are Pirates minus 114, Jays minus 108. So a little bit in the direction of the Pirates. All right, Huss. So I put together my top 12 for quarterback. We did like a quarterback position preview. Let me just double check. I'm doing this other super flex draft right now. I was 5 picks away. Am I still 5 picks away? I don't want to miss my pick. I don't want to get auto picked. Yeah, I'm still 5 picks away. I also found out, let me ask you this. So I've told you before about that big boy league I'm in where it's like the biggest entry fee that I have in the year. We've already determined the draft order for this. It's a super flex league. I'm drafting 3rd, which is good. And that's one of the ones where the commish does a lottery essentially. And then if you end up at the top of the lottery, you get to pick where you want to draft. So I'm calling the CFL game on Saturday. And at halftime, I checked my phone and they're like, Dusty, you're up on where you want to pick. So I went and looked. And the first pick was taken. The second pick was taken. And then like 4 through 7 was taken. But 3 was still sitting there. And I was just like, well, this seems kind of weird. So I said, yeah, I'll take 3. And then I was immediately like, that's my boy, Spite League champion, Jaden Daniels in the 3 hole. But I was chatting with a buddy over the weekend and he's like, you might want to consider Joe Burrow there too. Like a lot of people are expecting Joe Burrow to have like an MVP caliber season. Got a ton of outstanding weapons. Would I be crazy to pass on Jaden Daniels? Because it's gonna go Josh Allen, Lamar. I mean, 1, 2, and whatever the order.
Yeah.
Would I be crazy to pass on Jaden Daniels to take Joe Burrow and just hope that the Bengals have an insanely offensive season?
I mean, not crazy, but here's the thing. Jaden Daniels is probably good for about 600 yards rushing. Probably, let's be conservative and say 5 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah. That's a big swing.
That's 90 points right there. You extrapolate that over the course of the season, and you're basically talking about a 5-point rushing bonus for Daniels over Burrow every game of the year. Now, I'm sort of with you. I do think Joe's going to have to throw the lights out if they want to win football games this year. Apparently, they're no closer to getting anything done with Trey Hendrickson, who is their best player on their defense. They said they want a young defensive player and a first-round pick if they trade him. And listen, Joe's sort of got what they wanted. I mean, they didn't think they were going to get Higgins done. They did. So he's got Chase. He's got Higgins. He's got some great weapons.
Chase Brown's a phenomenal back, too.
Chase Brown is going to get his. Joe Burrow does not run very much. So, I mean, I think the running numbers will be negligible. But I do get what you're saying. Like, if the Bengals are going to win games, it's going to be like 45-42.
Yeah, is it not? I don't think it's crazy to think that Joe Burrow throws for 15 more touchdowns than Jaden Daniels, maybe even more. Like what was the numbers last year on this? Actually, let me see. NFL 2024 passing leaders. I wonder what the passing touchdown discrepancy was between those two guys last year. So Joe Burrow had almost 5,000 yards. He had 43 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels had 25. So he threw 18 more touchdowns last year than Jane Daniels. So, does that, let's say he throws for 20 more touchdowns, does that make up for the extra rushing yards and rushing touchdowns that Jaden Daniels is going to bring to the table? So I think it'll be close. So I'm kind of torn on it right now.
Daniels had 891 yards on the ground last year.
The other thing I hesitate a little bit on Daniels, and I'm probably still going to end up taking Daniels, but I wonder if teams can focus in on him a little bit more, going into his second year. Like, I wonder if there's they approach him a little bit differently, knowing what he's capable of now.
Yeah.
I also worry that he's going to get hurt because he's got a slim frame and he's on the run all the time. It's mind you, Burrow's been injury prone too. I don't know. I'm torn on it. I really am, buddy. I don't know what to do with that spot.
It is. I mean, listen, it's a nice problem to have in a super flex league, knowing you're going to have one of those two guys. It's funny in the fantasy pros.
Yeah.
Burrow's actually ranked 5th
behind Jalen Hurts too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many rushing touchdowns did Hurts have last year? Like, it was insane.
Yeah, the amount of touchdowns. Let's see if we can see where Jalen Hurts is.
He had 14 touchdowns last year. Only Jacobs, Gibbs, James Cook, and Derrick Henry. Man, James Cook had 16 touchdowns last year?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then before that, he had 4. Like, that's an outlier. Yeah. That's a very big outlier. Like, if he got 10 this year, I think you should be happy.
Here's my top 12 quarterbacks, Sauce.
Yeah, give me your top 12. Let's see how.
So I've got Lamar, Josh Allen, and then I basically have 3A, 3B, Daniels and Burrow. I've got Hurts at 5, Mahomes at 6, Baker at 7. And then I think it falls off a little bit. I'm going to count on this guy burned me last year, even though I finished second in the league. I drafted him early and it backfired because he got hurt. But I still like Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and Prescott can run the ball a little bit. So I've got Dak at 8, Brock Purdy at 9, Kyler Murray at 10, Bo Nix at 11. And then I figured I should probably throw somebody in the top 12 that you're not going to see in the top 12 in other places, just as a talking point. And I know Farhan had some pushback on me last week because I drafted him in a Superflex league. But I don't know. I think there's some potential there with Drake May this year. He's a guy who can run the ball as well in New England. And I think if there's if there's somebody that can emerge, both him and Caleb Williams, I have them both kind of listed as a back and forth. Couldn't decide on a breakout candidate for the year, but I don't think it's crazy to think Drake May at the end of the year could finish top 12.
No, he's, listen, there's that group, like that tier 3. I'm just go through this fantasy pros.
Where's their tier 3 start? Give me their tier 3.
They've got Bo Nix at 8.
Okay.
Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, and then number 12. And this is a guy that I will bet is assuming that he plays and doesn't get hurt, a top 12 fantasy quarterback this year, potentially top 10. Justin Fields.
Fields. On my list today, I had guy to avoid at current draft position, and it was Justin Fields. I don't hate Justin Fields, but I just don't know if we should be drafting him as a top 10 or 11 guy. Like,
if you look at Fields' numbers, he consistently rushes the football.
He runs the ball all the time. Yeah.
And like, this is what it's going to come down to. No, do you want him as your quarterback for your team? Like in real football? Absolutely not. But in like where rushing kind of changes these quarterback rankings so much, he's a guy that is going to run regularly. In fact, probably run way more than he should. And that's going to be great for fantasy owners. Probably not necessarily great if you're a Jets fan. And then on top of it all, the Jets are still the Jets. They've got Fields as their quarterback. Don't be surprised if they're playing some, shall we say, second halves that are out of it and you get tons of garbage time. And I think they have the best strength of schedule, i.e. the worst schedule in the National Football League this year as well. So to me, I think Fields, and I mean, even if he's not your guy to be your first quarterback, I mean, if you had Fields as your number 2 quarterback in Superflex, I think you're in really, really good shape.
I don't mind that spot. Yeah, I don't mind that.
And again, he's like, if you're in a 12-team league and you're ranking him 12, 13, 14, 15, he will sort of be that guy. But don't be surprised if those rushing totals skew Fields into the upper echelon as opposed to just the sort of the Marines. The one guy that I'm sort of think that's being slept on, and I don't get it, is Jared Goff. I mean, Goff's numbers have been massive the last few years. Now, I mean, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs takes a little bit of cut out of that if he has the monster season that a lot of people are thinking in. I don't. Really
I think it's
so.
the change at OC that has people sort of like, well, let's see what it looks like, right?
They just promoted Ben Johnson's guy that's been in the room the entire time. Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think that's going to be a huge difference. So, like this tier 4 that they have: Goff, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, JJ McCarthy, Tua. I'm totally out on Tua.
Yeah.
And Bryce Young. I'm actually very high on Bryce Young.
It's a deep year at quarterback, buddy. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's why the super flexes are cool, where you're basically looking at probably 24 QBs starting each year and each week. And I think that as much as you're going to get who you get in the first round, probably, I mean, unless you go a different way, there's an argument to be made that to take one or two of the top position players when everyone takes quarterbacks, and then in the third and fourth round, okay, I'm going to pick JJ McCarthy.
You know what?
Take the Jared Goffs and see if you can make it run that way.
I have done some mocks from that 3-hole where I take Jamar Chase 3rd overall. And then what happens is most of the quarterbacks are in that lower end tier 1 when it comes back around to me, like Justin Fields or somebody. So then I'll take like Jonty or Nico Collins is there a lot because so many quarterbacks have gone. And then I wait, and I kind of, a few drafts of what I've done is I've just gone like Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Penix as I work my way through. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm strong everywhere else. Let's just see what happens with these quarterbacks. So, yeah.
3 starters that can.
Anyway, what's coming up on WST, buddy?
Oh, we're going to get the latest from Bomber practice today. Ken Weave's going to join us, kicking off Manitoba Open Week. We'll be out at Breezy the rest of the week doing our shows, which should be a lot of fun. And caught up this morning with the lone Manitoban on Canada's Women's World Cup rugby team. She's going to join us from England, getting ready to get the event going on Saturday. So yeah, should be fun. Pop by and hang out with us coming up at the top of the hour.
All right, Huss, we'll check in with you tomorrow, buddy.
Take it easy, Dusty.
There you go. That is us from Winnipeg Sports Talk. This is the Lock Shop, brought to you by Play Alberta. Let me give you a quick rip through our EST specials. I think the grandest, the grandest is up as well. Big number once again. Let me see here. Might have to change it. Big U, can you go check the grandest? It says Madrid to win by 3+. They asked me if it was a Asian or European handicap when I said Real Madrid -2. So I need some clarification on that because I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, and I can make that change for you as well. We got the early bird bet from earlier this morning, Bombers and Elks +186, and then the Marlins to win tonight, boosted from -147 to -123 on the evening of a Creed Tuesday concert day here in Edmonton. All right, we've got the oil stream coming out with myself and Joaquin Gage. Tommy Gazzola is on vacation again this week. Gager's going to join us. We are going to take a look at that Whipping Boy bracket. When should we expect the McDavid signing? And we're going to go through the Oilers' off-season moves one by one and grade them. So if that doesn't get your Oilers boner rock hard, nothing will. We're going to get to that coming up next on the Oil Stream. That'll do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Marlins.